welcome back to my channel. I am Amber from Amber's Books and More, and today I want to talk about my 5 most owned authors. And so I'm in a new location today. I'm thinking about making this a permanent location. I'm not quite sure yet, because I thought whenever I first started filming my videos for BookTube that the lighting wouldn't be good here, but now that I've done a couple of test ones, I think they're okay. And this is my big bookshelf. Kind of goes with the BookTube theme, so I definitely think I might keep this. So just let me know if you think it's a good background, because it's my pretty books and I like them. I like them a lot. But either way, so let's go ahead and get started. I did some major cleaning and rearranging. I didn't film that because I don't like watching those kind of videos that much when people just kind of like rearrange, so I decided to just go ahead and not film it. But I do, now that I've done some math, I want to talk about my most owned authors, and for this, because I have a lot of authors that I own like 3 to 5 of their books, I just decided to do the top 5, because there are about 3 at least that I have way more than 5 books. So let's just jump right in and get started. Okay, so starting out, my 5th most owned author is Victoria Schwab. So on Victoria Schwab, I own 5 books. So I have The Archived, I have The Unbound, which is book 2 of her archived series, and then I have her entire trilogy for A Darker Shade of Magic. So I have A Darker Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, and A Conjuring of Light. So I do plan on getting more of her books in the future, so that's why I went ahead and put her on the list. Even though I have a few authors that have 5 books, I do plan on getting more. So my number 4 most owned author is Stephenie Meyer, and for her I have 6 books. 6 of her books. So let me show you here. I'm gonna have to move some stuff around to show you this. So hopefully you can see this fine. So I have the Twilight Director's Notebook here. I have the original Twilight book. I have New Moon and Eclipse. I have Breaking Dawn. I have The Host, which is really good. Everybody should read that one. So those are all of the Stephenie Meyer's books that I have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 books from her. So my number 3 most owned author is going to go to Anne Rice. So for Anne Rice, they're also back here. I have quite a few books. Let's move these again. Move these down here. Alright, so I have Interview with the Vampire, Vampire Lestat, which book 1 of the Vampire Chronicles and book 2 of the Vampire Chronicles. Then I have Queen of the Damned, which is book 3 of the Vampire Chronicles. I have The Tale of the Body Thief, which is book 4 of the Vampire Chronicles. I have Memnoch the Devil, which is book, I don't remember now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Vampire Chronicles. I'm losing count. And then, so the next part of these are not technically a part of the Vampire Chronicles, but they follow the same universe and storyline, I guess. So I have Pandora, which has no cover. I don't think I even bought it with one. I think I got it like $1 at Half Price Books. And then I have The Vampire Armand, which I really like that one. And then I have Merrick, which I really did like this one as well. I did like this one. I have Blood and Gold, which kind of started the Vampire Chronicles. Like those, I put them in order from which they were published, and this kind of follows. It started the Vampire Chronicles back up. And this is a really cool cover because it's kind of like, you know, she follows a lot of Greek mythology and stuff, Anne Rice does, and it kind of has like this, and it comes over around here. It's a really cool cover. I really like this one. I have Blackwood Farm, which continued with the Vampire Chronicles, and I think at this point she quit numbering them. I have Blood Canticle. I have The Witching Hour, which was the first book in, and look at this just falling apart, but it was like the witches, I can't remember what they're called, but the something witches series. I need to get a new one of this because this one's beat up pretty badly. But The Witching Hour, and then I don't have the second book of that series, but then I have the 3rd book of that series, The Mayfair Witches, there we go. And this is called Taltos. And I got this for $2 on sale. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so the number 2 most owned author is J.K. Rowling. And so I owned 5 Victoria Schwab, 6 Stephenie Meyer, I own 12 Anne Rice, and I own 16 for J.K. Rowling. Oh my god, they're so heavy. I have the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets in the illustrated editions. I really love those a lot. Oh my god, those are so heavy. Son of a beach. With the original American hardcover, I have 6 of them. I don't have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets yet in the hardcover. I'm still trying to find a good copy of that. Let me put that up there. So I have 6 of those. Then I have both book 1 and 2, the Chamber of Secrets and the Sorcerer's Stone in the paperback edition. And I have Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone UK edition in paperback. So I have the original Tales of Beedle the Bard whenever she first published this with the charity thing. So this is right after the 7th book came out. I purchased that one and I loved that one. And I have the first time she did Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them and Quidditch Through the Ages, the original ones for Comic Relief. I have those back from 2001. I have Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which technically she didn't write, but it has her name on it, so we're counting it. And then I have the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them original screenplay, which she did write. Okay, so for my number 1 most owned author, there's a big jump. So I had 16 was J.K. Rowling. I have 32 Sherilyn Kenyon books. That's a big jump. And I plan on having within the next month at least 6 or 7 more, because it has now been my mission to get every single one of her books. I really want to continue with her series. I miss her writing and I love it. So I'm definitely going to get more with the next ones. So I'm not going to pull out each one because I have 32. So I'm going to take you down to the shelf down here and we're going to go on a little bit of a field trip. So let's get going. Okay, so welcome to the second to last shelf. I'm now sitting on the floor and let's just get started, because you can see these are all my Sherilyn Kenyon books. There's 32 of them. So these are all paperbacks, and then I have some hardbacks mixed in. This is going to be in no particular order because I had them all in chronological order, reading order, but it was mismatched and I wanted to put these up like this, and now they're not in any kind of order. So I'm going to take these down and then we're going to put them back up as I get to them. Okay, so every single book that I have from here until until these books here are all adult fantasy, urban fantasy in the Dark Hunter universe. And then we'll go ahead and get started. So first I have Fantasy Lover, I have Night Pleasures, I have this little mini read here that is called Dragon Swan. Now this was originally published in an anthology, but then I found it somehow in this little bitty section. So next I have Night Embrace, and I have Dance with the Devil, I have Kiss of the Night, I have Night Play, I have Seize the Night, Sins of the Night, Unleash the Night, The Dream Hunter. So this is the first book where, even though technically it's a Dark Hunter book, the Dream Hunters are a different section in the Dark Hunter world that can actually hunt through your dreams, so they can jump through dreams. So that's the first one of that, the Dream Hunter. But it does go in chronological order in with the whole series. They're all in the same universe. And then we have Upon the Midnight Clear, which is the second one that is a Dream Hunter. Then we have Dream Chaser, which is the third one that is a Dream Hunter book. And we have One Silent Night, which is back in as a Dark Hunter. Dark Side of the Moon, which is actually my very first Sherilyn Kenyon book that I read. Devil May Cry. And the next one is one of the chunkiest ones, and it is Acheron. I mean, this thing is pretty chunky, but this is also one that is signed. Dream Warrior, which is the next one as a Dream Hunter novel. So if you notice a shift when we get to Acheron, the shift from having men on the cover, like this one here with a man on the cover, is that we switched over to more of a symbol on the cover. And so this is the second one that did that. It's called Bad Moon Rising. The next one is Retribution. The next one is The Guardian, which is another in a Dream Hunter novel, and I believe that this one was originally like a short story that she expanded into a full story, because it says the first time in print. So I think that that's what that was. Either that or it was just, hey, this is a first edition. But that's another Dream Hunter book. And then we have Styx, which is pretty chunky, but this one is a horrible edition because it's the pocket paperback. It's a Dark Hunter novel, and so this one is actually, but look, I read it without breaking the spine. That's pretty sweet. But this is Acheron's brother, Styx. So they were named after the two, like, rivers in the underworld. This is a new one that I've purchased that I have not read yet, Son of No One. And this is another Dark Hunter novel, but it starts also the Lords of Avalon series, which is kind of like the Dream Hunters. It's another section of people that are within the Dark Hunter universe. This is the newest one. It was on a recent book haul that I'll publish up above. And then she published a Dark Hunter companion. This was originally published right after Acheron, but it is kind of just like, I've talked about it before. It's as if you became a Dark Hunter, and this is like your handbook on what to do. And I also have this one signed. Let me find it. Yeah, so this one is also signed as well. I went to a book signing and got her to sign a couple books. All right, so I had to move over here because going backwards was really starting to hurt my back. But I actually forgot 2 books. I don't know how. But there's a lot of in-between little books, the short stories that she's written that are within anthologies, and I do have one of those. It's called Dead After Dark, and so it's not just her, but there's a couple other people. There's J.R. Ward, Susan Squires, and Diana Love, and so this has her story. It's called Shadow of the Moon inside of this, and I believe that is also a Dark Hunter story, but I did forget that I have this. And also with Diana Love, she has this whole like range of books that she writes with her. And one of those, I'm not sure where it falls in the actual like chronological order or anything like that, but it is called Phantom of the Night. And this one I had signed by both her and Diana Love. They were there together when I went to the book signing, so I definitely forgot. I don't know why, but I haven't read this one yet. I need to read this because it sounds really good. So that takes my total up to 38 books, so I forgot about that. So the next set of books are the Chronicles of Nick that I have. I have 2 more that I am about to purchase soon on Book Outlet. And then there's another one that's coming out later this year. And so let's just go ahead and jump into those. So the Chronicles of Nick basically follows Nick Gaucher, which in the very first Dark Hunter novel, he is the squire for Kyrian, which is the first Dark Hunter book that's out. It's about him. He's not the first Dark Hunter. Acheron was. But so at the beginning of the Dark Hunter adult series, he's about 22 years old, and a lot of people really enjoyed Nick, and so they wanted more information about him. So she wrote the series. It is a young adult series, and it is about him when it starts out when he's about 14, I think. And so these are all about him. And so the first one of Chronicles of Nick is called Infinity. The second one is called Invincible. The third one is called Infamous. The fourth one is called Inferno. And the fifth one is called Illusion. Now, there are a total of 7 that are currently out, and the 8th one is coming out soon. So basically what happens is, besides the very first 2 that are back-to-back, everyone after follows basically 1 year of his life until they get up to the point where the Dark Hunter series started. And so basically, yeah, that's all. I have a lot of books by Sherilyn Kenyon. So let me I don't know if I'm in frame, but so that's all I have for you today. And this is very awkward sitting on the floor doing this. But I actually really enjoyed counting and doing all this, and to realize how many Sherilyn Kenyon books I actually do have. Because if you would have asked me beforehand, I probably would have thought, the Harry Potter books that I had the most of. But no, that's not true. So, so a few of these books from Sherilyn Kenyon were going to be on a recent haul that I have not filmed yet, because I'm going to get a few more books before I haul them, because I only got like 5 that I purchased last time from Book Outlet. So yeah, are there any of these authors that you have a lot of books of? Are there authors that have a lot of books out that you think that I should own more of? Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, so until next time, have a great day wherever you are. I love you. Bye!